Ho ho! I'm Schlubby Claus, and welcome to this week's episode of the Bowling Center. This week we'll be talking about the Scorpion Championship. We'll have a gift exchange between PBA Tour players, and we'll find out which is the naughty little boy who's been disliking all of the PBA's YouTube videos.
Gets the strike.
Hello bowling fans, and welcome to this special holiday edition of the Bowling Center. I'm Jason Thomas, the bowling guy, alongside Jeff Goodger, the internet bowling personality, and we're going to have a lot of holiday cheer on this week's episode, Jeff.
If there's one thing bowling needs, it's more holiday cheer. And Tom Smallwood is one guy who's going to have a little bit of that because he just won the Scorpion Championship. Let's take a look at the highlights.
47 feet of visible oil awaited the best four bowlers through Scorpion Championship qualifying. Right away, Josh Blanchard and Tommy Jones defied bowling stereotypes by audibly showing emotion after both striking in the first. The question now is, which will sting more, the Scorpion pattern or our eyes trying to process Jones and Blanchard's pants? A big strike in the sixth for red-panted Blanchard gave him a 22-pin lead, and a pleasant carry in the seventh made it 32.
That's how you might advance by stream strike. 32-pin advantage.
Green-panted Jones fired right back with a double, getting him close enough to shout, "Not yet!" Not yet! And Blanchard's unconverted 4-9 split meant Jones could get up in the 9th and 10th and win the match.
That's high. 3-6.
Blanchard, after a spare in the 10th, needed 3 pins to win. Would he get them? Well, of course he would. Don't be ridiculous.
Winner! Blanchard advances, beating Tommy Jones, 234-226.
Next up for Blanchard was arguably the best bowler at the World Series, Tom Smallwood, giving our eyes a reprieve as he donned a nice pair of black dress pants. Looking good, Tom. Early trouble for Blanchard.
In the second, high.
Or was it?
Gives it a roll!
Yes, it was. But don't worry, we have a hunch this match is going to get really interesting. You've seen strikes before. Do you want to see what it looks like when a bowler finds a hook spot he wasn't expecting? Like that.
And look at that.
Blanchard needed a double in the 10th to win, but the 10-pin wanted to see more bowling.
Smallwood. Oh, 10-pin.
Smallwood, on his second shot in the 10th, needed a strike to claim it.
Oh. We have the possibility of a tie.
Round 1. Round 2. Round 3. Round 4. Round 5. The longest televised roll-off in PBA history goes to Tom Smallwood, who would bowl for the title against tournament leader Marshall Kent. But, as Tommy Jones would say, not yet. It's TO challenge time. Terrell Owens throws a shot, pulls a bowler's name out of a hat, and that bowler must try to match whatever TO leaves. Seemed like a fun idea at first, with TO opening with a strike to prove he could do it, even if Norm Duke couldn't.
Oh my!
It's a 2 for Duke.
Then making Oscar Palermo try to leave the 1-5. Shouldn't be tough for Chris Barnes to leave the 2-4-10, right?
Make the exact leave. That's a bonus.
Wrong, but he did knock over 7 pins, giving him a score of 0 and putting him in the lead. Make sense? Mike Fagan made the horrible mistake of throwing a strike, which doesn't match the 9 with which he was tasked. Then, T.O. quit with the fun leaves and struck on each of his last 4 shots. Bill O'Neill's ball left the Greek church, and he went running to the comforting arms of Jason Belmonte. Fortunately, Belmo was wearing the moisture-wicking high-five gear jersey, easily repelling O'Neill's tears so Belmo could drill the rack and put himself into the lead by matching exactly what T.O. did. Sean Rash left double wood. Then, Pete Weber needed a strike to force a roll-off with Belmo.
Oh, he called.
Nope. Belmo wins, straight up. Back to the Scorpion Championship. Marshall Kent is a two-time Collegiate Player of the Year with Robert Morris University and received a special exemption to bowl the World Series. Smallwood was looking for his second career PBA Tour title, and Kent was looking for his 0th? Because of his amateur status, Kent is not eligible to be credited with a PBA Tour title, and yet he can bowl for it, win it, take the trophy and the money. Well, let's just watch the bowling. Smallwood left a baby split in the 4th, which tilted his early lead in Kent's favor. A double for Smallwood and a 9 count for Kent put this match within 2 pins after 7 frames. Could Kent lock it up? Could Smallwood jump him? Is Terrell Owens really 3 inches shorter than Mike and Randy? 9th frame, Kent to finish first with the opportunity to shut out Smalls.
Oh no! 7-10 split!
You've got to be kidding me.
Translation, thanks, bowling. Smallwood still had to get some pins, though. A 9 count on his first shot in the 10th meant he needed to clean it up and get 5 more on the fill. Yes and yes. Don't fret, Marshall Kent. You'll be back many times over, and so will you, Smalls. In fact, we'll see you next week in the World Championship. Tom Smallwood, your PBA Scorpion Champion.
Big win there for Tom Smallwood in the Scorpion Championship, and much like the week before with Ryan Simonelli, Smallwood getting his second career PBA Tour victory after a long drought.
Very nice gift to himself just in time for the holidays, a PBA Tour title, but holidays aren't about selfishness, Jason.
No.
So what do you say we try to help out some of the bowlers out there? A few gift ideas, bowler to bowler. Christmas lists in hand. Jason Thomas first on my list. Pete Weber's had a lot of one-sided conversations with photographers over the years. And Pete, I think it's time you mend fences, where you can let them do their jobs and still do your job the way you want to. Camera silencers.
Do not flash the camera in my approach. I'm telling you, don't do it.
Seems like a very thoughtful gift, Jeff, by Pete. Next on our list, we have Jason Sterner. From the bowling gods to Jason, 1 bumped 10-pin.
Can he do it? No! Oh my!
I bet Mr. Sterner would prefer to have already received that gift, but maybe in the future it'll come in handy.
Yeah, you never know when you're going to have the front 11 on TV, and if Jason's ever in that position again, I'm sure he'd use the coupon rather than throwing a perfect shot and getting 9.
Well, that's why bowling is such a wonderful and fair game in every way.
Of course it is.
Yes, so let's talk about something else, like geography. I know you're a big fan of geography, Jason, and an idea here on my list, Brad Angelo. Get Chris Barnes a map of Manhattan. Why Manhattan, Jason?
Because that ain't Brooklyn!
3 strikes in a row for Angelo.
That wasn't a Brooklyn shot there.
Now.
Next on our list, Norm Duke giving a gift to Mika Koivuniemi, a coupon for 1 free 10-pin conversion.
Single pin spare, misses it! He missed it! And Duke has won the U.S. Open.
That's borderline offensive, but gift idea for you, Mika. Give it right back to Duke. A photo of the Ferrari you bought with the $250,000 you won at the Tournament of Champions.
Well, Jeff, Mika Koivuniemi is having a very good holidays because the next gift on our list is the PBA staff to Mika, a mattress for the approach.
Single pin spare, misses it!
Lane Maintenance Director Mark Sabatine, I know you don't want to be left out of the gift exchange, so an idea for you to give to Chris Barnes, a barrel of Brunswick A22 oil.
Yeah, these days Barnes he's getting a little up there in years, and the less friction on the lanes, the highly viscous oil, as he says, helps his game out, and that kind of ties into our next gift. From Belmo and Askew to all PBA Tour players over 40, some revs.
Well, Belmo's in the giving mood this year. Another idea for him. Think he should give his 2013 USBC Masters title to the winner of a 1-game match between Pete Weber and Chris Barnes.
Oh, that's a very generous gift, Jeff. As you guys know, Barnes and Pete, that's the only major lacking on their resumes.
And Belmo's just going to give it away.
Yeah.
Here, guys, have it.
Very generous. Next on our list, from all the World Series of Bowling competitors to Terrell Owens, some handicap.
Next on my list, to all you bowling purists out there, from the PBA tournament staff, 100 extra games of qualifying in every tournament.
I think that's the worst idea I've ever heard.
Yeah, I just quit Extra Frame.
All right, Jeff, that brings us to the last one on our list. And I think this one's to Tom Clark, but I think it's to really all bowlers and all fans of the PBA and the sport of bowling. To Tom Clark, a $10 million umbrella sponsorship for the PBA Tour.
As we continue to spread holiday cheer throughout the world, one of the best ways to do that is to talk to Professional Bowlers Association Hall of Famers, which is exactly what Mike J. Laneside did as he sat down with Jason Couch over a couple beers.
PBA Hall of Famer Jason Couch, thanks for stopping by and having a beer.
Always a pleasure, Michael.
I know I can count on you for a malted beverage and a conversation at any time.
Of course.
And you've got a different role this year at this World Series of Bowling, working the other side of the fence, as it were. What's that like?
Different. I mean, to say it honestly, is different. I still feel the animosity, the pressure, watching these guys bowl. You know, I always put so much pressure on myself to compete and do the best I could, and now I do it for these guys on a regular basis, whether it be Barnes, Mika, Tommy, Bill O'Neill, Scott Newell, it doesn't matter. I feel every shot with these guys. I want to see them do well, you know, and at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is to have my brands on TV, but I still feel for these guys, and I still have that passion for the game.
Hall of Fame career. We've seen it in other sports. Sometimes somebody will drag it out a year or two longer. You made the call, and it was a decisive one.
Me and you spoke about it in Milwaukee, actually about 2 years ago. You know, I don't want to be that guy that hangs on and bowls and bowls and bowls just to get a check or to make a finals. If I didn't feel like I could compete and win every single week, I didn't want to be out there. Whether it be my knee injury or just turning the page on a new career, I felt like it was time to move on, and I would never want to be that guy that kind of held out and waited too long.
What do you bring to this new role, given what a Hall of Fame career brings in terms of the intensity and do you bring that same element to the other side?
This is going to be a really bad spot on me, I guess, but I'm demanding. Second sucks, and I've always said that. And when I talk to my players, if you're in second, we can do something better. We got to get you to the lead. And for me to live and breathe and live that way every day, I want those guys to understand that that's where I come from. You know, whether it be singles competition, team competition, I live and die by my bowling, and I want these guys to feel that way. So my experience I lend to these guys, understanding the lane conditions. You know, I study lane conditions, I study bowling balls. So I give them a lot of knowledge, but more heart than anything. I really want these guys to understand that you live and die by how you perform each day.
Well, if the players under your direction or anything like the boyfriends coming to the Couch household, I'm just trying to imagine one of these.
There'll be no Chris Barnes at my door. There'll be no Mika. You know, those guys are cheap, so I can't have them at my door. So, but if it's Bill O'Neill, a good American kid, God love him, you know. Scott Newell with the Mohawk, no chance. Come on, can't have that guy.
Where's the last place you went on vacation?
St. Pete Beach, where I was actually born and raised in Florida. You know, I spent a week at the beach with my kids and my wife, and you know, my wife's from Ohio, so anytime she can get to the beach, she loves it. And I was born and raised on the beach, so it's no different to me, but she loves it. And you know, anytime I can spend with them is a vacation, so I'm blessed.
Well, Jason, as always, I appreciate having beers with bowlers.
Yes, sir.
Always good to talk to Jason Couch, Jeff Goodger. He was always one of my favorite players on tour, And now that he's a ball rep, one of my favorite people to hang out with on the road.
But enough about Hall of Famers. Let's talk about schlubs, like us. Chuck Gardner from Brunswick sent us a couple of Brunswick Mastermind bowling balls, and I think you and I, Jason, should go back to the drilling room and set them up.
The Mastermind. I'm the evil genius, and I'm going to take down Jeff Goodger this week.
And I'm the guy who wins every week.
Yes, but this week I'm going to take him down with the Mastermind from Brunswick. Thank you to Chuck Gardner for these two. Okay, I'll stop doing the character now. These bowling balls, and we're going to take them over to the ball spinner, and I'm going to put 4,000 on mine, and we're going to leave Jeff's out of the box.
Got the flowers on the wall, that don't bother me at all. Playing solitaire till dawn with the deck of 51. Smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo. Now don't tell me.
All right, here are our masterminds. This is Jeff Goodger's on the left. You can tell it's very gritty, very dull, pinned down. Strong CG, strong mass bias. We're going to put a low hole on it to give it even more flare potential. And then here's mine on the right. Hit it with 4,000. Much weaker layout. The pin's up. The CG's not kicked out quite so far. The mass bias is still in a pretty strong position. So I'm going to drill out some weight out of the side to kind of neutralize it a little bit. But pretty strong layout for me, but a lot weaker than what I went with the Motive Sigma Sting in week 1 on the fresh.
Jason, I am displeased. You're getting closer.
Yeah, I'm close, but that's just not going to do it. I'm starting to feel like Dr. Claw on Inspector Gadget, the guy at the end of the episode that says, "I'll get you next time, Goodger, next time."
I don't know if Dr. Claw ever gave Inspector Gadget 120 pins, though, so that's kind of helping me out a little bit.
Yes, but you said you were displeased, So I think it's time for another edition of Troll Bowling.
Today, let's talk about YouTube. My favorite part of YouTube is the PBA YouTube channel, and not because I'm on it. That's actually my least favorite part of my favorite part of YouTube. But the thing I love is every video the PBA puts out gets one dislike. And there are exceptions where there are plenty of well-earned dislikes. But every single video gets one dislike. Who's that guy who's making that choice to go through every video and probably not even watch it and click that stupid little thumb? Who is that guy, Jason?
Hi.
It seems like a lot of wasted time, or you just really hate bowling and think your one dislike is going to put a stop to it. Well, a lot of things have tried to kill bowling, including the bowling center, apparently. So Jason and I hired a private investigator. We gave him a list of possible suspects we thought it might be, and he first hit the message board trolls. That's the most obvious. It has to be one of those people. But came back empty. He couldn't pin it down to one person. Maybe it's a team of people who take turns just disliking things one at a time. So then he went to the next obvious suspect of President Obama. He says that's not the case, though. And don't worry, I'm not getting all political on you people. It's just because Obama's terrible at bowling, so it's relevant. We also had him investigate Republican Nixon, so now both sides can be mad at me. He was wiped off the list, though, because he's dead. So it's not Obama, it's not Nixon. We had him check into Adam Levine, the lead singer of Maroon 5, and I think he's on some show now where he judges people on things. And so maybe he's judging our videos. I know he said that bowling was a lame thing to be good at, so maybe his statement is to come out and dislike every single video on YouTube. The investigator found it wasn't him. He was too busy being good at things that are not lame, so not wasting his life looking at our videos and clicking dislike. So we thought, well, maybe it's the Grinch. It's holiday time. It could be the Grinch. So it turns out the Grinch is a fictional character, so not the Grinch. The PBA has gone through great expense to hire this investigator, tens of thousands of dollars that could have gone to tournament prize funds. We'd be touring weekly. We'd be on ABC. Everything would have been fixed, but PBA hired this investigator because it's really fascinating to find out who this was. I feel kind of guilty now, Jason, because it's me.
Jeff, I had no idea you were such a horrible, despicable human being.
Come on, Chase. You know I'm not a fan of ours.
I actually did know he was a horrible, despicable human being because I hang out with him on the road on Xtra Frame. But I am willing to forgive and forget, being the holidays and all. And this weekend we have a very, very special episode of the World Series of Bowling. It's the PBA World Championship.
Yeah, we have Tom Smallwood and Pete Weber opening the show. Winner gets Mike Fagan, winner gets Sean Rash, and the winner gets tournament leader Don Barrett.
It's going to be a great show Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to want to miss it. We saw it live. Unbelievable matches, Player of the Year implications, all kinds of emotional outbursts. And again, you're not going to want to miss Sunday's show. So we'll be back here again on the Bowling Center to recap it on Monday. And before we sign off today, we wanted to just take a little bit of time to thank everybody for watching the show and thank all the people for the nice things that you've said. We love doing the show and we hope to continue, and we'll be back again next Monday with more. So I'm Jason Thomas, the bowling guy. This is Jeff Goodger, the internet bowling personality. Have a happy holidays, and we'll see you next week.